for superintendents. The assignment was to create a policy memo, which is a shortened brief. Full policy brief is probably 18 pages. This is a 2-page document given to a school board. This is considered a prescriptive memo because it is describing a problem and then offering a solution. For the assignment, I've written the policy memo that you see, and then I will give this presentation to my instructor, and then he is going to ask questions like a school board member would. So you get to be my instructor acting as a school board member when we are done. And I appreciate your help practicing for this assignment that is due next week. Good evening, members of the school board. Tonight, I want to talk briefly about an area of sustained success in our district that is also under growing strain, our middle school music programs. Over the past 2 decades, student participation in band, choir, and orchestra has grown significantly. We've also expanded elective offerings to better meet student interests and scheduling needs. However, during that same time, staffing levels have remained essentially unchanged. This mismatch is now affecting instructional quality, equity, and sustainability. At the middle school level, music instruction is fundamentally skill-based. Students are still learning how to produce sound, read music, and work collaboratively in larger ensembles. Today, we regularly see band, choir, and orchestra classes with student-to-teacher ratios of over 30:1. In these conditions, teachers are doing everything they can, but the large class sizes limit individual feedback, small group rehearsal, and timely correction of errors in their skill development. This matters because feedback and clarity are among the most powerful instructional strategies we have. When student-to-teacher ratios are too high, those strategies become harder to deliver consistently. It also raises supervision and safety concerns and creates equity issues for students who rely solely on school-based instruction rather than private lessons. This is not just a middle school issue. It's a system issue. Scheduling pressures at the elementary level, particularly around math and reading instruction blocks, have made shared staffing models less viable. This forces elementary band and orchestra teachers to reduce instructional minutes, frequency of class meetings, increase lesson group sizes, or have missed mass instruments together. In addition, from a workforce perspective, unsustainable workloads make it harder to recruit and retain highly qualified music educators. If we do nothing, we risk gradual erosion of program quality and increased student attrition and growing inequalities across our schools. The most effective and educationally sound solution is to add certified middle school music teachers, which will also result in reducing the number of shared staff positions at the elementary level. The proposal before you adds 15.5 FTE across 6 middle schools, using a combination of full-time and half-time positions to provide scheduling flexibility and reduce shared assignments. This investment directly improves instructional quality, strengthens supervision, supports equitable access, and has positive ripple effects at the elementary level without increasing our elementary FTE. This will allow us to shift shared staff to elementary or middle school only positions, which will create positive results in our elementary programming. Our middle school music programs are a visible part of our district's identity and are a proven way to engage students in school. Strategic staffing adjustments now allow us to protect what's working, address what's strained, and ensure these programs retain high quality and are sustainable for years to come. This solution will allow both our middle and elementary schools to provide quality music instruction. This recommendation directly impacts our district priority areas of academic success, staff excellence, and effective use of resources. I appreciate your time this evening, and I look forward to your questions now. And I would ask if there are any questions.
Would getting rid of elementary band and orchestra play a positive impact on your current problem?
If we were to eliminate programming at the elementary level, we would obviously shift staff to just the middle school level. However, we examined that in the last budget review in 2018, and that was overwhelmingly not supported by our community. It was not supported by our schools at the time, and really was the public response indicated that there was still a strong desire to have music education for band and orchestra at the elementary levels beginning in 4th and 5th grade.
Thank you.
Denise, and then Carol.
With little extra funding available, where do you see additional funding to come in for the 15.5 FTE?
Yes, Denise, I will tell you that this is, of course, in a dream scenario, in a fictional dream scenario. Let's pretend that we are getting our 3% as indicated by state law. And yes, so this is an expansion. This would be an expansion to FTE, and that's why I'm bringing it forward to the school board, is to request your approval for the expansion of additional FTE. Yeah.
To reduce the initial impact, have you thought of a stair-step system up to reach initially your 15.5 over the course of some years?
Yes, exactly. When we look at how that staffing could be attributed over a period of time, let's say 2 or 3 years, what that ends up, I believe, causing is some inequities among our schools. So schools that may have the greatest need because of the number of students perhaps should be the ones who should have the increased staff. However, we have some schools that maybe have fewer students involved in their music programs, but they have maybe the greatest need for that one-on-one instruction. And so by implementing at one point in time, we address both of those issues at the same time. Okay.
You talked about one of the big challenges, the student-teacher ratio. Do you have data to show what the ratio has been changed over the last 5-10 years?
Yes, so we can look at our enrollment data to see how our programs have grown, and then we compare that to the number of staff. And the number of staff has not changed except for the addition of a new middle school where we added staff to address that new middle school, Ben Rifle. That's the only increase in FTE that has occurred in the last 25 years. Yet we have seen an increase of about 15 to 17% depending on the course just within the last 10 years in our programming.
One more question.
Yes, Carol.
Do you see a correlation between participation in your music courses and academic achievement?
Yes, we do. The research is very strong out there. We've done some research within the district where we compare, specifically at the middle school, how students' GPAs at middle school, those involved in music have higher GPAs. Interestingly enough, recently we completed a study to look at what attendance looks like. And for students in all demographic areas, those who are involved in band, choir, and orchestra in middle school and high school have significantly higher attendance rates and significantly lower chronic absenteeism. Thank you all.